G'day, welcome back to another episode of Togl. And this week, as I said at the end of last week's episode, we're up here and we're going to start building the bridge. So I've got logs up through here, you can see, and I've got the car here ready. I'll bring the tractor if I need to. I've got ropes, straps, I've got the winch. The whole idea is we're going to start winching the logs down through here. I'll have to readjust the car backwards and forwards to get the angles right. Pull those logs down over here. Once that's done, what I'll be doing is drilling holes through. I've got big 600mm long Rio bars. Most of the logs are 30 to 40 centimeters or 300 to 400 millimeters. So that's going to give another good 20 centimeters where it's going to pin it into the bed log. So I'll be drilling those, putting all those in. Eventually we will mill up a heap of 2-inch thick, 5-meter long planks out of some logs that will then go across. So all the telegraph poles are going to run this way across the creek, and then we'll put all the planks across this way just to give it a nice flat area to go across. So I've got string lines and spirit levels and all that sort of stuff to try and make it level. I'll use the chainsaw, a whole range of things today, but we'll see how many of these logs we can actually get in today. I'd like to see them all in, but what I like and what actually happens are two totally different things, as we know. So let's see how we go. Well, that took a little bit. Chainsaw was getting a bit blunt. I need to sharpen that up again. But now you can see I've got that a lot more level. You will notice that it goes across, but then still dips a little. I've got some logs that are 40 centimeters down to 30 centimeters as their diameter. I'm going to put the 40 centimeter one in the dip, put the 30s up there. That's less I've got to cut off of each log. Let's see how we go with this first one. First one's going to be an interesting one. Okay, now it looks like that log is going to roll over into the ditch off of the road. I was hoping it might actually roll the other way back into the middle of the road, but it's not going to. So I'm going to go up and grab the cantilever and I'll roll it across into the middle of the road. We'll continue to drag it down. I also had to stop for a minute and pull all the rope back out because of the angle of the car. It was pulling all the rope onto one side of the winch, so I needed to let it out and then feed it back in neatly. So I'll go and grab that cantilever now. I forgot to turn the camera back on before I went over, so as you can see I've been over there, I've used the cantilever, rolled it across. Now we'll see which direction it's going to go in. It'll probably change position again, I'll have to do it again. So okay, as you saw, it started rolling. I thought it was going to roll all the way in, but it didn't. But if it keeps on that track, it's going to hit the end of this log that's already there. So I'm going to run back over and roll it across further into the middle. Alright, now that it's going in at that angle, I'm actually going to put the pulley up on that tree, and then the rope will go up through the pulley and down. It should lift that log up and bring the end in. That's the plan. We'll see how we go. Okay, fingers crossed. Damn it, it pulled in too fast. It went under the other log. I tried to lift it, hoping it would pop out, but it's now pulling the car. If I can't move that log back out this way a bit, I'm going to have to bring the tractor down to attach to the car to give it more weight to hold it in place, and then it would pop out. It's just that the car was sliding on this slick clay because we haven't got our gravel down yet. So give me a few minutes, I'll see if I can get this fixed. Okay, you can see here how far this log, the telegraph pole, has come past the edge of this post. It's wedged right in now, in underneath that, so I can't even lift it. So what I'm going to do is, I had the rope going up to there and then across to the car. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go and put the block and tackle on there and bring the rope back so that I can pull it back out. Then what I'm thinking is, if I just back up a little, I have that tree that I was using before, but I've also got this big tree right here. And if I put a big strap across it, and then I can put the block and tackle in the middle, and that way I'm lifting straight up and over. Sorry to have my hand in the way for all that, but that's what I think I'm going to try and see if that works. So I'll get back here in a few minutes when I've got this sorted out. For you, it'll be a couple of seconds. Not working because it's pulling the car forward. Might have to go and get the tractor. The reason it's pulling the car forward is the end of the log is jammed in against the dirt. So yeah, I'll go and get the tractor. Alright, I got the log pulled back a bit. As you can see, it's teetering up quite high at the back now. I've put this strap in across the top, put the block and tackle right in the middle of it. Now, there's a lot of stretch in that strap, so I don't even know how well this is going to work. But it's the next best thing I could think of, so we'll give it a try. We'll see how we go. Alright, the main camera battery died. So I'm down to the GoPro, but look, I think she's just about to go. My worry was, I thought this tree might have got pulled over. And you can see there, I had to use another D-shackle to hold everything together because it was pulling one of the straps down because the strap went across and back. So now they're all bound together. Let's see how we go. The problem now is it's almost pulling flat, so it's actually pulling that log in against this other one instead of lifting it up. If it doesn't pop in a second, I'll have to go and get the tractor, and then I can use the tractor bucket to lift that up, because every time I pulse in, oh, that tree moves, but it just popped back, and you may have seen that just popped up again. What's going first, the tree or the log? Oh, there comes the log, there she goes. All right, happy days, I don't have to go get the tractor, and we're across on both sides. Now bear in mind, this was the 10-metre log as well, so naturally it was going to be harder than the 8s, I would assume, because it has taken me a long time to get that over from when I first started this morning. But I think I got a system now. I think this is going to work well, because now that it's on both of those logs, both of the bed logs, I can roll that across into position quite easily. So I'm going to roll that across and start dragging the next one down, and I'll see how that goes. I'll probably turn the camera on again when I've got 4 or 5 of them down, when I'm about halfway through. You've seen me get that one in. You've seen how much of a challenge it was. I'm not going to bore you with trying to do every single log. So I'll see you again in a little while once I've got a few more logs down and in place. Okay, things are going okay now, which is good. By the time I get this next log in, which is up there behind me, that'll be the 4th log, and I reckon I've done those 3, the last 3, in the time it took me to do the first one. Just because it took me a while to work out exactly how to do it, the best way to do it and all that sort of thing, as you saw. So let's see what we've got happening here. So I got the car winching up through the block and tackle. The tractor is just helping stabilize those straps there a bit so they don't sag as much, and also support that tree so it doesn't fall down. You can see that I've already got 3 in there, and I've been pulling these logs. Well, actually this is the first log from right up the top. Those other 3 logs that are in there were the 3 that were just sort of in here. So now I've got these other 6 up there, but I'm going to get this one down. I'll show you a little bit of that, and then I think I need to go and have some lunch, because I'm getting hungry. I get dizzy every time I bend over, so I need to go and eat something. So I'll get this log into place, and then I'm going to break for lunch, and hopefully, it's looking very gloomy. It's not supposed to rain, but it's threatening to rain, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get these logs in before the rain starts. We'll see. Okay, so probably think while I was sitting on the end for having a ride. Just that little bit extra weight just helps it teeter up with it being lifted at one end and me on the back. It just stops it dropping in so hard. I found that on the second one, so I've been doing that. So now that the other end's up, all I got to do is take the strap off. I will use the cantilever to roll the log. As you've seen, I'll roll the other end across and it's in. That's how I've been getting them in. Not too bad. It's pretty good. I haven't even timed it to know. It might be half hour, might be an hour, I don't know, but yeah, it's going pretty well. So anyway, I'm going to go and have some, I'm going to roll that into place first, then I'm going to go and have some lunch. Then I'm going to come back and hopefully if it hasn't started raining, I'll drag a few more in. I'll show you when we've made a bit more progress. Maybe when we got to 8, hey? We got 4 in there now, the other one was already there. We've got 4 telegraph poles. I'll get back to you when we've got 8 in. I really need some food. Well, as promised, here we are at 8 logs. And good timing too, because the battery to my remote for the winch just ran out. And it takes tiny little Phillips head screws. I'm going to have to go and find a little screwdriver. I've got a spare battery. I've just got to go and find a screwdriver so I can undo the back and replace the battery. So let's have a quick look. So progress has been pretty quick this afternoon, which has been great. It actually takes me, I've got to wind the winch in and pull it all back out 4 times to get the log from right up the back down to here. It's just obviously whatever the length of the winch rope is, it's 4 times that to get the log across. But yeah, 8 logs in, 2 to go. Well, all 10 logs are in place, and only just in the nick of time too. The sun's just gone behind the hill there. I started picking up the pace a bit. I thought I was going to get done a bit earlier, but no. So it's taken all day to get the 10 logs in place. That's all that's happened, is they're just in place. What I need to do when I come back again tomorrow is start drilling those holes through. The plan is I'm going to drill a hole right down through the log and then put a big piece of Rio and belt it all the way through and all the way into the bed log just to pin them so they can't move. So I'll be doing that on each end. And then obviously it'll get those planks screwed right across the top as well. But here we are. I've already moved the car out of the way and there's 10 logs in. So you'll notice that the outside ones are the longer ones. They were the 10-meter ones, and the rest are at 8 meters. So there is our bridge. So we're getting close, getting really close. All right, yes, can't wait to be able to drive over that. I still can't drive over it even just yet because it's too big a step up there. I need to get dirt pushed in. So anyway, that'll be it for today. It's been a pretty good day to get all 10 logs in. I am happy with that. So time to pack up before the sun gets right down and head on home and have some dinner. I'll see you up here tomorrow. Well, it's been a few days since I was up here last, because we've had a couple of days of pretty solid rain. So now everything is very wet and it's cold. So let's go and have a look and see how everything fared down here at the creek. Are the rocks still in place? What got washed away, what didn't? And I can see right now that our logs are still all good, and I knew the logs would be fine. There's no way those logs are ever going to wash away because the water doesn't get that high. But at least they haven't moved any, so that's good. You can see all this water everywhere. It's very wet down here now. Everything's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing's moved, so that's really good. And even after that couple of days of rain, I can kind of tell there that there's still a lot of soil over there, so it hasn't even really flooded up that much, so that's really good. Everything's holding in well. Now, these logs will be a bit slippery. I'll be careful on them. So yeah, everything's everything's still intact, so that's really good. So what my plan for today is, I need to, as long as the rain holds off of course, I need to start getting holes drilled into these logs and getting those pins in to pin them down to the bed logs. Now, if I get all that done, then I will probably start looking at getting a couple of slabs put across, at least one either end to start with, just to pin the logs together even harder. But then I'll start to mill up timbers to form the bed of the bridge. So that's the plan for today. We'll see how much of that we get done. Okay, so here we are, tools of the trade. This is what we're going to be using. I've got a 10mm auger bit, short one, nice and sharp. That's going to get the hole started. Then I'll put this bigger one in. Now this is a much older, like this is really old, decades. I got this off my grandfather. It was in some of the tools. So what I've done is I had to nip the end off, and that now fits in the drill, and that will get me right down through into the bed log. Once I've drilled them, I've sharpened a point onto these pieces of Rio, and I can then use the sledgy to belt the Rio in. So that's what we're going to do. And there we are, peg in. A little bit of effort, but at least getting pegged down. And that's for this wet weather. Look at what we're dealing with. So much mud. This is why we need to get the gravel on the road. So hopefully we will get that gravel in a couple of weeks' time, as long as the guy's able to deliver it. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get these pinned down. Once I've got them pinned down, I'm actually going to get the tractor. I'm going to start to bring some dirt in to fill up the gap here, to bring it up to the right height. Then I'll start getting those slabs put across. Well, I didn't do too much filming today, to be honest. Reason being, it would have been pretty boring. It was just me moving dirt with the tractor. I got those other bolts pushed in, or the pieces of Rio. I smacked all those in. You saw me do one of those, no point showing you any more of them. And then the rest of the time was just moving dirt. So let's see where we got to with that. So I built up all that area in front of the logs with dirt, all this here. And then because the dirt is still very soft, and I really can't pack it in that well with the tractor, tyres are too narrow really, I just put some of the old planking that I had used in here. This is all the old stuff. It's just sitting on the dirt. It's not screwed in or anything. You can still see some bolt heads there, but that's just where they got pulled out of the old road that I'd done. They're literally just sitting on top of the dirt, just to spread the load. However, this nice new looking one, it's 4.6 meters long, 2 inches thick piece of blackwood. That's what I will do right across here. I'll just keep milling up either eucalypt or blackwood. I've got a lot of logs of each. I'll mill them up at 2 inches thick, and we will just clad that. Now the reason I've got that bit of an overhang on the end here is because what I will actually do, once I've got it all clad across, I'll put a beam across out here, and that'll, like, it might be about 5-6 inches that I'll mill, and that'll just be like a safety rail to stop people falling off. I'll put one over on the other side as well, but it's just, you know, so your wheel will bump it. Everyone should be right in the middle anyway, but just that little precaution. So that's it. So I moved the dirt in on both sides, and that did take me quite a few hours. And yes, I know, let me swing this around. And yeah, Ian could have done it in like 15 minutes with the excavator, but he's not going to be back for weeks yet. And when he does, I want him focusing on the gravel. So I just moved all that dirt in myself and got that sorted. I wouldn't try and take the car across it right now. It's just too wet and slippery. I'd really need to wait until I got all the cladding across, but also over on the other side over there, because it is a bit steeper, very slippery. The tractor handled it, the car wouldn't. Not until I get that gravel down. So that's where we're at the moment. And that's where I'm going to end this video. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this one, all that good stuff. And if you tune in next week, you'll get to see me milling some timbers, and I'll continue to clad that. Like I said, there's lots of logs around here at the moment. I'll get them all milled up. We'll get that clad. That's what we'll be doing next week. So tune in next week. Till then, take care. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.